ਚੋਣਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੱਦੇਨਜ਼ਰ ਅੱਜ ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਹਲਕਾ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਿਬੇਟ ਕਰਵਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਮੰਚ ਦਾ ਸੰਚਾਲਨ ਦਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਪੈਨੀਪਾਲ ਅਤੇ मैं अर्शदीप बट्टू करेंगे। FYI मीडिया ग्रुप चैनल से प्रसारण होने वाली BC प्रोविंस चोणां 2020 बारे डिबेट दीआं कुछ शर्तां हन। उम्मीदवारां नूं 2 मिनट दी TVC नाल रूबरू करवाया जावेगा। मंच संचालकां दे वल्लों हरेक उम्मीदवार तो 3 सवाल पूछे जाणगे ਅਤੇ हर सवाल दा जवाब देण लई 2 मिनट दा समा होवेगा। इस तो बाद फेस ऑफ राउंड विच मौजूद उम्मीदवार एक दूजे तो एक सवाल पूछ सकते हैं, जिसका जवाब देने लई 2 मिनट का समा होवेगा। संचालकां वल्लों एक कॉमन सवाल किया जाएगा, जिसका जवाब देने लई हर उम्मीदवार नूं 1 मिनट का समा मिलेगा। ते आखिर विच वोट अपील जां अपने वल्लों कुछ शब्द कहण लई 2 मिनट का समा हरेक उम्मीदवार नूं मिलेगा। ते उत्तर देण लई समा उम्मीदवारां कोल जवाब देण लई हर राउंड विच ज़्यादा तो ज़्यादा 2 मिनट का वक्त होवेगा ਅਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ 15 ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਲਰਟ ਬਜ਼ਰ ਵੱਜੇਗਾ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਨਿਰਧਾਰਿਤ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੇ ਫਾਈਨਲ ਬਜ਼ਰ ਵੱਜੇਗਾ। ਹਰ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਗਏ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਸਮਾਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਹੋਣ ਤੇ ਮਾਈਕ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ। ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਣ ਯੋਗ ਨਿਯਮ ਵੀ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਚਰਚਾ ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਭੇਜ ਸਕਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਸਾਥੀ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। डिबेट दौरान अपने मोबाइल फोन बंद रखने होंगे। नुमाइंदे डिबेट दौरान मंदी भाषा का इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते। इतराज योग शब्दावली जां माड़ा वतीरा करन ते माइक बंद कर दिते जाणगे। उम्मीदवार अंग्रेजी, हिंदी जां पंजाबी विच गल कर सकते हैं। FYI मीडिया कोल अपने हर चैनल ते इस डिबेट का सीधा जां रिकॉर्डेड प्रसारण करन दा हक है।
शौकत खान सरी वॉली तो लिबरल उम्मीदवार हैं। खान 2003 तो सरी विच रह रहे हैं। खान 2000 विच अपने परिवार नाल पाकिस्तान तो कैनेडा आए सन। मास्टर की पहली डिग्री पाकिस्तान तो 1998 विच पूरी की सी अते फिर MBA अल्बर्टा तो 2015 विच पूरी की सी। शौकत खान जदों तो कैनेडा विच हन बैंकिंग अते वित्त उद्योग नाल जुड़े हुए सन। शौकत खान ने करियर के दौरान बहुत सभ्याचारक टीम्स ਅਤੇ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਮਿਹਨਤੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਖਾਨ ਨੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ 3.5 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਵਜੋਂ ਸੇਵਾ ਨਿਭਾਈ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਆਧਾਰਿਤ ਗੈਰ ਮੁਨਾਫਾ ਸੰਗਠਨ ਹੈ। ਸ਼ੌਕਤ ਖਾਨ BC ਚਿਲਡਰਨਜ਼ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਦੱਖਣੀ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਫੋਕਸ ਸਮੂਹ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਣ ਮੱਤੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਸਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਰੀ ਡੇ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਸ਼ੌਕਤ ਖਾਨ ਪਤਨੀ ਮਾਰੀਆ ਅਤੇ 3 ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਸਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। Shaukat Ali Khan is a Liberal Party candidate. He is a candidate from Surrey Wally. Shaukat Khan have been living in Surrey since 2003. Khan immigrated from Pakistan with family in 2000. Khan completed his first master's degree from Pakistan in 1998 and then completed MBA from Alberta in 2015. Since Khan has been in Canada, he has been associated with the banking and finance industry. He started his career from an entry-level position and moved through the ranks to senior leadership and executive positions in retail banking. Khan served as president of Pakistan-Canada Association over the past 3.5 years, a large community-based non-profit organization. Khan is a proud member of South Asian Focus Group for BC Children's Hospital Cancer Foundation and have been involved in 3-day campaigns across Surrey. Khan, his wife Maria and 3 children currently living in Surrey. Bruce Ralston ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ 2005 ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰੀ ਵੈਲੀ ਲਈ ਵਿਧਾਇਕ ਚੁਣੇ ਗਏ ਸਨ। ਬਰੂਸ 2009, 2013 ਅਤੇ 2017 ਵਿੱਚ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਵਿਧਾਇਕ ਚੁਣੇ ਗਏ ਸਨ। ਉਹ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਐਨਰਜੀ, ਮਾਈਨਸ ਐਂਡ ਪੈਟਰੋਲੀਅਮ ਰਿਸੋਰਸਿਸ ਹਨ। ਬਰੂਸ ਨੇ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਗੈਸ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ, ਟ੍ਰੇਡ, ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਐਂਡ ਮਲਟੀਕਲਚਰਲਿਜ਼ਮ ਦੇ ਅਧਿਕਾਰਿਕ ਵਿਰੋਧੀ ਬੁਲਾਰੇ ਵਜੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ, ਐਗਰੀਕਲਚਰ, international trade, the Asia Pacific strategy and intergovernmental relations ਲਈ ਵਿਰੋਧੀ ਧਿਰ ਆਲੋਚਕ ਵਜੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ। ਬਰੂਸ ਨੇ 2009 ਤੋਂ 2017 ਤੱਕ ਜਨਤਕ ਖਾਤਿਆਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਵਿਧਾਨ ਸਭਾ ਦੀ 24ਵੀਂ ਸਥਾਈ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦੇ ਚੇਅਰਮੈਨ ਅਤੇ 2006 ਤੋਂ 2013 ਤੱਕ ਵਿੱਤ ਅਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ 24ਵੀਂ ਸਥਾਈ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਵਜੋਂ ਸੇਵਾ ਨਿਭਾਈ। 1995 ਤੋਂ 2006 ਤੱਕ ਬਰੂਸ ਵੈਨਸਿਟੀ ਸੇਵਿੰਗ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਯੂਨੀਅਨ ਬੋਰਡ ਆਫ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਰਜ਼ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਵਜੋਂ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ 4 ਵਾਰ ਚੁਣੇ ਗਏ ਸਨ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 2001 ਤੋਂ 2003 ਤੱਕ ਬੋਰਡ ਦੇ ਚੇਅਰ ਵਜੋਂ ਸੇਵਾ ਨਿਭਾਈ। 2003 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 2005 ਤੱਕ ਬਰੂਸ ਨੇ ਵੈਨਸਿਟੀ ਐਂਟਰਪ੍ਰਾਈਜ਼ਸ ਦੇ ਬੋਰਡ ਦੇ ਚੇਅਰਮੈਨ ਵਜੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ। ਬਰੂਸ ਨੇ 1988 ਤੋਂ 1993 ਤੱਕ ਸਰੀ ਸਿਟੀ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੌਂਸਲਰ ਵਜੋਂ ਵੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਨਿਭਾਈਆਂ। ਬਰੂਸ ਵਿਕਟੋਰੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਏ ਸਨ। ਬਰੂਸ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਮਰੀਅਮ ਸੋਬਰਿਨੋ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ 3 ਬੱਚੇ ਹਨ ਜੋ ਸਰੀ ਵੈਲੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ। Bruce Ralston was first elected MLA for Surrey Valley in 2005. He was re-elected in 2009, 2013 and 2017. He is a Minister of Energy, Mines and Petroleum Resources. Bruce served as the official opposition spokesperson for natural gas development, trade, immigration and multiculturalism, and also served as opposition critic for finance, agriculture, international trade and Asia-Pacific strategy and intergovernmental relations. He served as the chair of Legislature's Select Standing Committee on Public Accounts from 2009 to 2017, as a member of Select Standing Committee on Finance and Government Services from 2006 to 2013. From 1995 to 2006, Bruce was elected to 4 consecutive terms as a member of Vancity's Saving Credit Union Board of Directors. He served as the chair of board from 2001 to 2003. From 2003 until 2005, Bruce acted as the chair of the board of Vancity Enterprises, a Vancity subsidiary with mandate to provide innovative housing solutions throughout the Lower Mainland. Bruce also served as a councillor on Surrey City Council for 1988 to 1993, where he advocated for planned development for healthy neighborhoods from Surrey families. He is a former member of boards of director of Surrey Memorial Hospital and Surrey Public Library. Bruce is married to Miriam Sobrino. They have 3 children who grew up in Surrey Valley.
Welcome to the live debate. Sanjha TV here at the debate for the BC Provincial Election 2020 with FYI Media Group. We have the candidates for Surrey Valley here, and we've got the moderators, Devinder S. Benipal and Arsh Batu, here with us as well. The format of the debate is as follows. Questions from the moderators, 3 for each candidate. The answer time will be 2 minutes each. Face-off round will be 1 question for 1 candidate to the other, 2 minutes time reply for each. Common questions by the moderators to each candidate, 1 minute to respond for that. And the final thing will be the vote, appeal or closing pitch to your potential voters, why they should nominate you, or elect you, I guess. And the response time. Candidates will have a maximum 2 minutes to answer each question in every round, and the alert buzzer will sound when there are 15 seconds remaining. The final buzzer will sound at the allotted time. Each candidate should complete in response time only. After candidates' response time is up, the microphone will automatically turn off. The rules to follow. Candidates are not allowed to be substituted with any other representative in the studio. All mobile phones will be turned off during the debate. Candidates are not allowed to use any offensive language during the debate. In case of any offensive or uncivilized language, your mics will be automatically turned off. Candidates can communicate in English, Punjabi or the Hindi language. FYI Media Group has live and recorded telecast rights of this debate across all platforms. And now we shall begin.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonia. So, welcome to the debate. My first question for you, Mr. Bruce. The question is, what changes have you made in the last 15 years since you were elected?
Well, for most of that time I was in opposition, but I advocated strongly for the city of Surrey. I view Surrey within British Columbia as the future of British Columbia and indeed the future of Canada. So in the opposition years I advocated strongly for an expanded role for the hospital system in Surrey, for the school system in Surrey, transportation, and Now that we've came to power in 2017, we've been able to carry out some of those things. 8,900 new spaces for students in Surrey, 18 new schools either started, underway, or seismically upgraded, a new hospital. Through the concept and the business case, architects have been hired, the land is available, owned by the government. That's underway. We've brought about a medical school. Minister Dix has announced that if we're re-elected, we will build a medical school in Surrey Wally in connection with SFU Surrey. And he was kind enough to give me some credit for advocating within our caucus and within our government to bring that facility to Surrey. So there are lots of challenges in Surrey. It's a vibrant, growing place, and there are never an absence of challenges. But I'm pleased to make the contribution I've made with the Surrey team and John Horgan, and I look forward to the opportunity to continue to make life better for the residents of Surrey Wally and of all of Surrey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And my question to you, Mr. Khan. Your leader, Liberal leader, promises to eliminate the PST for 1 year,
Yes.
which is the highest source of income to government. As you know, we are in deficit right now due to pandemic. What will be your recovery plan?
So the recovery, first of all, let's talk about the reason of why Andrew Wilkinson decided about waiving of PST. And again, snap election has been called, which should have never been called. People are in dire need of help. People have lost their jobs. 150,000 jobs have been lost within COVID. There was no need of the election, first of all. Second is PST has been waived because people are in need. People are in need of help. And our Andrew Wilkinson is a big proponent of bring immediate relief. Don't make the promises that we cannot deliver. Don't make the promises that we are going to do this next year. Let's give the relief to the people right away because this is what they need. So he talked about PST because once the PST is waived, there would be $1,750 for the family of 4, which is going to go back to the pockets of the people. Businesses are going to thrive because people power of purchasing would be more. On top of that, we will see a lot of investments that will be coming in BC. So just by doing that, in second year it will be 3%, just getting the investors. And everybody knows that BC Liberal is pro-investment party, and whenever it's in power, lots and lots of investments happen in BC, and due to those investments just coming in, because right now we are in locked-in situation, no investments are coming in, we are losing the investors going to Alberta, so investors are going to come in, the economy is going to thrive, we'll open the doors, people are going to have better jobs, people have high-paid jobs, so with that you will see that the economy is going to kickstart, and that's what we are focusing on as far as the Liberal Party is concerned.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Bruce, my question to you is, BC Liberal says they want to expedite LNG export projects, while BC NDP has offered qualified support for LNG development. What is your stand on that, because you were Energy Minister as well?
Well, I think it's more than qualified support. We wholeheartedly support Canada LNG. Mr. Khan has mentioned the absence of investment. In fact, that's just not true. This is the biggest single private investment in the history of Canada, $40 billion. And not only the plant in Kitimat, but the Coastal Gas Pipeline. It's thousands and thousands of jobs in Kitimat, thousands of jobs along the pipeline route, and bringing in many Indigenous nations who are partners in that project. The BC Central Credit Union economists have said that that project alone, the investment in that project alone, has raised the GDP of British Columbia by a factor of 0.75%, which is huge in a $300 billion GDP economy. So we support LNG, and Premier Horgan made that very clear. It was a tough decision, and it's going forward. It's underway. It's under construction, and we don't have any qualifications about that. The one thing that the plan will do is it will fit into our climate plan. The emissions that will come from the liquefaction plant in Kitimat will be among the lowest in the world. There's another plant in Norway at Snøhvit, which is comparable. So Yes, there will be emissions, but it will fit into our climate plan, and that was another condition. So good for the environment, good for Indigenous people, good for the economy, and creates jobs for British Columbians. That's what we support, and that's what we did.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Khan. So what are your thoughts on the Surrey police referendum?
So, Surrey police referendum, and as snap election was called, it was brought up to our notice. And again, when we look at the situation that is happening right now, there are lots of people who want Surrey police, and there are lots of people who do not want Surrey police. And as a democratic process, and I've been talking to lots of people, I've been door knocking at Maximum Place. Too bad we were not given enough time. We only were given 30 days as compared to 90 days. So trying to reach out to as many people as I can. And the first response I get that I've been living here since 1986, first person who has come to my door. But the immediate response and immediate question to them is, what is your stance on Surrey police? What is your stance on RCMP? And as we discuss, as we talk about, people are very passionate about having the Surrey police, and people are also very passionate about having the RCMP police, and they have got their own reasonings. And I know there is a decision that has been made that they are going to go ahead with the Surrey police, which we don't have the full details. We don't know what will be the total cost that would be involved. So there are lots of unknowns that are there, because of which lots of people out there in Surrey are uncomfortable with that decision. Lots of people want to have their say in there. So this is what we have decided, and this is what Andrew Wilkinson have decided, that there is a need for referendum, and we should go back to people of Surrey and give them an option, which is the ask. They do not want that thing to be implemented on them, and they want to have an ask, and they want to have a say in what is going to be the decision, whether they want to keep RCMP or they want to keep local police. So Andrew Wilkinson have decided that we will give an option for people of Surrey to have a referendum on RCMP, whether they want to keep RCMP or they want to do something else.
So Mr. Bruce, what have you done for the taxi and trucking industry?
The taxi industry is an important part of the local economy here in the Lower Mainland, and really produces a lot of family-supporting jobs. Taxis have really been an important part of our economy. Now, we committed to bring about the urban transportation method that's brought about by Uber and Lyft. We brought that in a way that the platforms would be even. We have strived our best. We directed ICBC to create an insurance product that would be comparable, and we've done that. We've also made sure that Class 4 licenses were kept. The BC Liberals, Jas Johal, on behalf of the BC Liberals, was strongly opposed to that. He said, his words were, let's tear the Band-Aid off. In other words, damage the taxi industry. And I think it's important that people remember that when they think about voting. And that's probably not too surprising that the Vancouver Taxi Association today has said that they are supporting, in a release, reported in another media outlets, that they are supporting the BC NDP. So on the trucking side, we have raised the daily rate. We have dealt with the issue of off-dock work, and there's a report that's coming in, and we're working with the industry to resolve the problem of off-dock work. We've also got more money for repositioning moves, $25. So we have worked with the trucking industry very hard to bring about, again, a resolution of many of the problems. The BC Liberals just ignored the trucking industry during their time in office.
Thank you so much. So my question to you, Mr. Khan, that previous Liberal government has sold the land for a Surrey hospital. And now Andrew Wilkinson, he promised that there will be a hospital in Surrey. So what do you think, why people trust now?
So Arshdeep, very good question, and again there is a confusion about it, so just want to make sure and put it on the point right here, that within the last 16 years of BC Liberal government, if you see what they have delivered, Surrey Hospital, Guru Nanak House wing was established for more than $453 million. We also established Jim Patterson Clinic, which was $253 million. We have also created the mega projects, which has created the jobs, which has brought the investments, which have absolutely encouraged the infrastructure. And whenever there is an infrastructure, there would be more economy, there would be more people going back and forth, business would be traveling, more trucking, more taxi driver, more trade is going to happen. So whenever BC Liberal comes in, they deliver lots of projects. Again, first time in politics, so do not want to become very political. But if you look at what NDP has been doing within the last 3.5 years, except taking advantage of what Bonnie Henry and BCers have done since March as far as COVID-19 is concerned, there is nothing to prove out there. But yes, the land is available or not is a question, because some people say that NDP doesn't have that acquired, don't have that land for Surrey Hospital. So if you look at the track record of BC Liberals, if they have announced that there would be hospital, there would be absolutely hospital. I can assure you that. And if you look at BC Liberals' track record and whatever has been happening in the city of Surrey, which is the fastest growing city in Canada, we are not getting the fair share of what we should from NDP or any other quarter. So this is the time we should invest all the money, all the effort, and we will build a hospital for Surrey.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and now we will have the face-off round where a candidate will ask the other candidate what they want. You have 2 minutes to answer, and please, again, do not interrupt while they're speaking.
So we'll start from you. You're going to ask a question.
Okay, Mr. Khan, you've said that people are in dire need and that they need assistance right away. John Horgan of the BC NDP had proposed, if re-elected, that we would give to a family $1,000 COVID grant, or to an individual $500. I understand that, notwithstanding the fact that you've said that your people are in dire need, that you're opposed to helping those families. Can you explain why?
Absolutely, thank you, and you're a very distinguished colleague of mine, and I respect you a lot. But if you look at what when the decision was made, if we compare it to what Andrew Wilkinson have announced, a PST waiver of 7%, immediate relief. 2% of waiver for small business, immediate relief. We have done the steps which people need, and again, giving a bribe of $1,000, which is going to mature in next 1 year, and all those promises are being made while we are in the elections. The Surrey Hospital and other projects were announced while we were, or in the background, NDP was preparing for the elections. So if you look at the overall situation, yes, this is not the right time, and we are not saying that we are opposed to anybody giving anybody money. What we want is there should be money and there should be relief right now where people need it. Making the promises, hey, we are going to give you $1,000 while we are running in the elections is an election gimmick. And again, there are lots of promises that were made 3.5 years when NDP took the power, and if we reflect back, none of those promises were delivered. So biggest thing that is related to our riding, which we are contesting for, is housing affordability. They promised that they are going to give 21,000 houses, and only less than 3,000 houses have been delivered so far. And there was no need to call this election, COVID election. We need to focus on going ahead and taking care of people who have lost their jobs and helping them with the relief, and promising that they're going to get a relief within the next 1 year or within down the road is not the relief that people are looking for. People are looking for immediate relief, which PST is going to give it to them, which 2% waiver of small business tax is going to give to them. And Andrew Wilkinson announced $750 million today, which we are going to build as far as affordable housing is concerned. So those are the steps that are needed right now.
Thank you so much.
Now
you can ask the question.
So my distinguished colleague, Mr. Bruce Ralston, you have been in the riding for 15 years, and we have been seeing each other in the past too. Would love to know that within last 3.5 years, let's take the credit of COVID on the side, but would love to know within last 3.5 years, looking at the challenges that we have, and I'm hearing from each and everybody, and that is homelessness, drug addiction and crime, and bringing relief to the people. What concrete deliveries have been made to the riding?
Well, if you remember, and I'm not sure that you've ever acknowledged this, the Wally Strip had a tent city with a couple of hundred people living in tents there. business community, the small business community in the area complained about it. The BC Liberals did nothing. When we came to power, those people, over 250, were moved into modular housing, largely in Surrey-Whalley, with supports. So supports for employment, supports for counseling, supports for drug addiction. We have announced in May 2020 Peterson Place, 38 units at 132nd and King George, again, supportive housing for homeless people. And also the Whalley Legion is building the Veterans Village right in the heart of Whalley, working with the BC Housing Commission. That's a provincial government agency to create more affordable housing units as part of that project. That's a very innovative project that will assist veterans suffering from PTSD and other first responders and house their families. And that project is underway. I was by there today. They're pouring concrete and it's coming out of the ground. So those are just a few of the housing projects that we have undertaken to house the homeless in our part of the region. On mental health and addictions, we've had the first standalone ministry and begun treatment program. There's the Forge program for youth who are suffering from mental illness, and a number of other programs in conjunction with housing to deal with mental illness and addiction, which affects many people.
Thank you so much.
And now we will have questions by the moderators, just common questions for the candidates. You will have 1 minute to answer.
So common question for both of you will be, what will be 5 things you will do right away if you elect as an MLA for Surrey-Whalley? So I'll start from you, Mr. Khan.
So, Ashley, very good question. And again, if you look at riding, and this is the vibe I'm getting from the people when I go and knock at their door, and again, we have not been given enough time to reach out to the people, which is very unfair to rest of the team and I would say democratic process. But when we look at the first thing would be I would be available, I'll be visible, I'll be on ground, I'll be reachable to people, I'll have a system where people can reach out to me. What I am hearing, no disrespect to anybody else, that we are not connected to our riding people as we should be. So again, what I'm going to bring is I'm going to bring in energy, I'm going to bring a new face, I'm going to bring in a younger crowd, younger person. I'll be bringing in somebody who has got diverse experience. And again, I was not born in Canada, but nobody else is, first, second, third generation. So the biggest thing would be I will be visible, I'll be there, people can pick up the phone, people can call me, and I will be engaged with them finding the solutions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khan. Mr. Ralston.
There are a number of projects I'd love to work on. Some of the housing projects I've mentioned. The new medical school at SFU Surrey, that's something that I will advocate and push for. At SFU Surrey, I advocated for and had founded a quantum computing lab, which creates the jobs of the future. It will be train really new youth to get those kind of futuristic jobs. There are lots of other projects here in Surrey that are opportunities. I'll also work on expanding schools. There are elementary schools that are being expanded in Whalley. I announced one very recently. And I've got lots of energy. I think I'm well recognized in the community. I've been out publicly visible, going to events, although under COVID we're not able to go to a lot of events, and serving people in my office, being on the media, advocating inside government, both in Victoria and in Surrey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Each candidate will now have a chance to talk to the viewers as to why they should be the one that they vote for. Each candidate has 2 minutes each.
I'll start from you.
All right. So again, my name is Shaukat Khan, and if I look at what I've been able to accomplish in 21 years, I'm very thankful that I got a chance to be in a country like Canada. I've been trying to give my level best back to the community, and I think if I earn the right of my constituents in the riding to serve them as their MLA, it would be an honor for me. What I can bring, and again, if you look at the platform of BC Liberals, very much related to the problems, the top 3 problems that we have got, and each and everybody I connect with talks about is homelessness, increased drug and addiction, and small businesses who need help. So Andrew Wilkinson just announced his budget today, where he's going to capital plan of $750 million, and they're going to bring housing for homeless. They are not going to bring temporary housings, but they will really bring housing for homeless. He also announced that there would be $150 million, $146 million for upkeep of that. So looking forward for your votes, so I can use my diverse background, and I have worked with everybody throughout my career, throughout Canada, with all the communities, and I can use that to bring the change that we need. Biggest thing is be on the ground, clean up the city, be a consultative MLA, take the feedback, be available to the people, which I will be, and we will all join our hands to work together to find the solutions. And again, people on the road, I connect with them too, and they are saying, we want to get out of it, Mr. Khan, but we do not have the resources available. So trying to find out the solutions for them, and I'm not going to be able to do it all again. I will be needing your feedback, relying on your feedback, and trying to find the solutions for our riding and make it a better place to live for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ralston.
Great. Well, thanks very much to the station for hosting this debate. It's been great to have a chance to face off with Mr. Khan. It's been really invigorating. I've really enjoyed that. I would say basically there are three things that broad themes that I'm running on with John Horgan and the BC NDP team. The first is better health care. As we all know from COVID, COVID has made public health and our own individual health and the health of our families really that much more important, and that's why we are committed to expanding the care system for seniors, long-term care, building a new hospital in Surrey, which is underway, and creating a new medical school in SFU Surrey. Those are just a few of the steps to help people realize good health, which is the basis and the foundation for everything else. Secondly, economic recovery, jobs and prosperity are really important for the economy, for family welfare, in the sense of people need good jobs in order to prosper. They want good jobs for their children and their grandchildren. So we have a plan to assist small business with a $300 million fund where people will apply. That's not for loans but for grants. They have to prove they have a viable business, and that will be one of the things that we will do. Certainly we have a myriad of programs on economic recovery. And finally, on affordability, I think people recognize that it's expensive to live in the Lower Mainland, and we have done a number of things, whether it's getting rid of MSP premiums, whether it's looking towards the future and what people can see in their family budgets. We're very conscious of that and have worked hard on that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That concludes the debate for the Surrey-Whalley riding. Thank you to the candidates tonight. And we are coming back to you. Stay with Sanjha TV. We're coming back with Surrey-Guildford candidates. Thank you.